Okay, welcome back. We're nearing our third week in Bali. Today's a little bit overcast. It's the 31st of July on a Thursday. It's currently 10 past 9 in the morning and it's 26 degrees. Humidity is very low, but it has been on and off showers. Yesterday it was raining a fair bit, but otherwise we've had 2 weeks of sunshine. It's been beautiful. So we're staying at this hotel here. It's Chiang Klung Mas, 4-star hotel. Cheap if you book in advance. I think we paid around about $38, $40 a night, maybe a bit cheaper, for 3 weeks. It includes breakfast. We'll have a separate video on that. Today's session we're going to be a little bit more informative and talk about a fair few of the different prices, I guess what to expect, some of the where to shop. Okay, let's start here. So this is a back street, really a typical back street. You'll see a lot of laundry places. This one here is $2.50 a kilogram. That's washed, ironed, folded, put back in a bag. They range probably more commonly around $2 a kilogram in your back streets, but $2.50 and probably more on some of your front streets. Another good example is some of the different supermarkets. Cocoa, from our experience anyhow, seems to be the cheapest, but when I say that, generally not by much. 10 cents, 20 cents for a bottle of water, smoked. Little bottles of milk are about 95 cents. Give you a quick tour. So, as you probably know, 10,000 is approximately $1. So, looking at $2.70 for Pringles. Sun creams are very expensive in Bali. Probably about double, I guess, or more to what you'll pay in Australia, for example. A little banana boat, that's $31, nearly $32. You probably pay $12, $13 in Australia. Milks. So here's a really good example. That milk there, well, that one's actually a flavoured one, but they don't have the normal standard milk, which is $4.60 here. There's a shop $2 down. It's about $2.30. That's one of the biggest extreme changes in prices I've seen. And Bintane's here, you're probably paying $2.70, $2.80 to $3.40, depending on which ones. Your standard ones are generally about $2.90 here. Some of the other supermarkets you'll pay $3, $3.10. Like I've said on the previous video, generally pay between $3 to $4 in your front streets, and up to $4 to $5 in your restaurants along the beachfront. Tattoo parlours, I think, are more popular than massage parlours. There's the second one. Here's your current currency rate. So that's actually a bit low. The highest I've seen is probably about $10.60. Also, what's good to know, I guess, I believe, and from what I've seen, nearly every hotel, even if you're not staying in it, you can go in there and you can, have dinners. Some of them offer a day rate to visit the pool. One of them we saw, I think it was 75,000, so $7.50. It gave you a sandwich or a roll for lunch, a beer, a towel, and the use of their beach club or pool area. Where this one here, that one of their specials was a pizza, nice pizza, including a beer, for $10 for dinner. Floating breakfast here for 15, for 150,000, so $15. And you know, that's an example. So always keep an eye out, I guess, on the hotel next door. Taxis. So there's a range of taxis. They're rather annoying. You're walking down the street, other side of the street, go in the opposite direction, and nearly every one of them will beep as you're walking past, trying to get your attention to take a drive, even though you're going the opposite direction. Circle K is obviously very popular here. Again, back streets are cheaper than the front streets. You'll pay probably, again, the $4.50 for the milk there. But and each of the shops, these three in particular, if you're a smoker, they go up 10 cents a packet, from the first one to the Circle K to then M-Mart. This M-Mart here is actually the one I bought the milk for $2.30. And so you just have to check around. Don't just assume that they're all the same price, and don't assume that the front streets are the same price as the back streets. Every morning there's a lady or ladies or people that will walk along the street, and then they basically, imagine they must pay for one of those little ceremonial bowls, baskets each morning. It's quite cute. And then the shop owner comes out a little bit later with a little bottle. They have two little bottles, different coloured fluids in them, and then they'll get a stick or something and they'll spray that shrine, and also some of their items for sale at the front, just to wish themselves good luck on, you know, making sales and profits. Okay, this is Molasti Street, so this is roughly the end of Legian. So Legian Kuta, the main streets run in a big rectangle. This leads to the beach. Just there's Garlic Lane, you can see the side street. And it goes up towards this way about 200 metres. Corner of McCure Hotel, stayed there before, that's quite nice. You go right, probably 1.5 kilometres long, then it circles back around to the right, which is called Alisti or something, Kuta Road, comes along the front of Kuta Beach, and then back up here. So that's the main street, I guess, for Kuta Legian. And then there's obviously a lot of little off streets that go around that. Massage parlours, obviously there's lots of them, different levels of, I guess, let's say sanitary or cleanliness or quality. This is the one that I've chosen to use regularly. Very good massage parlour.
Morning. How are we? Inside.
It's a lovely location. They do very good foot massages and massages in the background. So I saw a special one day that was $12, 120,000 for 1 hour. Bali relaxing massage. The massage lady, I guess, Wyn, W-Y-N. She does a fantastic job. So $12 an hour is fantastic. Most massage parlours on the main streets like this are generally $14. However, if you go to the other end of Legian Kuta, to the southern end of Kuta, you will still find, which I have the other day, massages for $7. Reasonable sort of location. This is Sheppy's Bar. It's an Australian owner, operating for 16 years. We actually just had dinner here last night. It was quite nice, good prices. This is just the breakfast, snacks and burgers. So, you know, $8.70 for a burger, steak sandwich, $8.40, club sandwich, $8. We had the steak last night, which was very tasty. So I had the reef and beef, 200 grams, $16.50. 3 small prawns, but they were quite tasty with the white sauce. The cordon bleu is quite good for $11. So yeah, a really good all-round sort of restaurant, I guess. This is another popular Australian hangout. We had dinner here I think the night before. It does karaoke here, live bands. Most of the restaurants have live bands on a regular basis. Uncle Norm's Bar and Bistro. Nearly every single restaurant here allows smoking. Some have a no cigar sign. Again, good prices. The back of here markets go back and back and back, lead out to Garlic Lane. So look, markets prices really depend. They'll have morning prices, afternoon prices, rain prices, anything to try and suck you in. So they'll mostly start around $10, 100,000 local currency for a singlet, for example. And it really doesn't matter what singlet, just singlets. However, some of those places will instantly start at $5. So you can go lower than that. I generally try not haggle too much. It doesn't mean a great deal to us of 50 cents or $1, but it means a lot to them. But I generally won't pay any more than $5 for a singlet. Same sort of thing for a hat. So you do have to haggle. You do have to have a look around the different stores. Don't just go to the first one, obviously. But yeah, $5 for a Bali or a Canggu or some sort of surf type singlet is quite the norm. Alright, I'll see you at the beach. Hello. Okay, you see this guy here? This is very, very typical. They'll walk off, they'll come alongside motorbikes and they'll offer you these tickets.
Really?
They're quite aggressive in many ways. And what they're trying to do is you open the ticket and they'll go, wow, you've got yourself a silver or a gold hotel room for 7 nights. Fantastic, well done. Now just walk with me. One of them, they try and walk you up that way, fair few hundred meters. And another example, they'll try and take you back to the beach walk supermarket, or sorry, shopping centre that's just opened up. They're open. They'll say, hey, please help me. It gives me $100 or $150 from the owner. It's nothing to you. You get a free holiday the next time you come. If that's what you want to do it. I don't know more details than that and what you have to give over, because we just don't take that very lovely offer. But they are everywhere in the main entrances, so just be aware. So the local language for no is Tidak. And then you've got Terima kasih, which means thank you. So you say Tidak, terima kasih, no thank you. They generally have a giggle and they'll leave you alone most of the time. So that's the best way of doing it. Before I mentioned about taxis. So there are a number of Bluebird and taxi and different options. As I said, they'll generally beep you, they'll stop, they'll put their window down and try and get you to take a drive. From what I've heard, haven't really experienced that this time, but a lot of the times they have a broken meter, unfortunately, or they don't have the right change, and they'll never give you less. They try and charge you more. They will lock their doors. There's all different sorts of things that they do. It's highly recommended. You'll see a lot of this on other videos for Bali. Grab's the best way. It's cheap, fixed price, comes out of your Australian bank account in Australian dollars, and you know what you're going to get up front. Also, when you're in Indonesia or other countries, Thailand, there are different options you can do for specials. So one in particular I took on was for 30 days, offered a 35% discount for all grabs if you book ahead. I think it cost me $1.70. So we're going to Ubud tomorrow. I was 330,000, so $35 roughly. With that discount, I got it for 220, so $22. And that's it's roughly 2 hours it's going to take us. It can be less, it can be more, depends on the traffic, of course. So leaving at 11 AM, it suggested it was going to be close to 2 hours. But that's a significant saving. I'm not really familiar with the local day driver rates. I believe they can be somewhere between 200, 150 one way to Ubud. 9 hours, you know, you can be paying 20 to 30 Australian dollars for a private tour operator, or a private car I should say. But you'd have to check that out yourself. Speak to your reception, they can organise it for you. We've chosen early morning, 9 o'clock. Beaches and the walkways are a lot quieter in afternoons. As you may have seen in other videos, it gets hectic. There's a lot of surfing places, especially around the middle of Kuta. It seems to be the better breaking, whether it's not so ruthless waves. I'll find out some details around the prices and the duration, and I'll post that in another video. They're very, very popular. There's lots of squirrels in the trees as well, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, another thing is we'll get some prices and timing on getting a chair. Obviously a beach chair, umbrella, seat, bean bag, you know, there's lots of different styles that they offer down these beaches. And I don't know whether you can see, but it just goes for hundreds of meters. Wherever there's a beach, you're going to get chairs. From what I understand, if you're going to bring along your own drinks, we paid $5, which is probably way too much, to come and sit at a table and chairs. We brought along a pizza and we just wanted to sit at the beach and watch the sunset. However, I believe if you buy the beers or snacks or food with them, I believe it's free. You just go and sit down and you order the beers, so it's probably a more economical way to get a beer or two and sit there for a few hours and not pay that premium for bringing your own. So Legian Kuta is on the southeastern side of Bali. Sorry, southwestern side, correction, of Bali. So that's where the sun sets. We're heading south at the moment towards Kuta. To the north, just for geography, obviously you've got Kuta, then you have Legian, then you have Seminyak, and then you have Canggu. Seminyak's also very, very long, so you'll see another video of ours where we're walking along from Legian to towards the end of Seminyak. It's a lovely walk. It's probably prettier, less condensed to here. But all in all, it's a long stretch of beach. Everywhere sells fresh coconuts. Not entirely sure of the price. And freshly cooked corn. It always smells nice.
Okay, $3.
So coconuts are $3. There you go. Oh, it smells nice. Oh yeah. I don't know. Last week, walking off the pathway. There's no palm trees just here, but off the pathway, and a coconut fell down, like literally directly in front of me. It missed my head by about 30 to 40 centimeters. It wasn't a big one, but probably big enough to have concussed me or done some damage. So definitely be careful. It does happen.
Doing a YouTube video. We just want to know how much the surfing lessons are.
Oh, for the surf lesson is 250,000.
Okay, we're just with a nice local. It's Hits Bali's Legian Rentals. And so how much is it to?
250 for the lesson.
So $25 Australian to lesson. How long does that last
It's
for?
maximum 2 hours.
2
So
hours?
that's already included with everything. It's like with the shirt, leggings, and then with the surfboard.
Yep.
It's like we do. It's like private lesson.
Private
so
lesson?
one by one, yeah. So it's like more safety, you know.
Okay, and you go out there and you hold the board for them, and they
Yeah, and then I push
come in.
them, and then I.
And you see some people have got photos and videos.
Yep.
How much does that cost?
It's maybe about 150.
So another
One person,
50
yeah, it's
on
like-
top of that. So another 15 Australian dollars. Okay.
Yeah.
So around 2 hours, you show them on the surf, on the sand here, how to get up on the board.
Yeah,
You give
so
them
before
wetsuit.
So before we go into the water, we will give our customers like the basic first how to let on and then stand up. So we practice here first,
Yep.
then we jump into the water.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very
All right.
much. Have a good day.
You too, mate.
There you go. They're all very, very friendly. Yeah. Go on. They're all very friendly. They'll stop. They'll have a joke. They'll have a laugh. You can have a laugh back. There's no one here that's really rude at all. Good morning. Even though they want to sell stuff, they always say hello, good morning. Yeah. That's a poor doggy. Yeah, we haven't seen one that bad. That one's very bad with mange.
Yeah, that's the worst dog.
There's a
we've seen.
lot of dogs. Nearly every store has a dog. If it's not every store, every second store has 2 dogs.
And even the strays get well fed, the cats get well fed, people put kibble down for them. They really love their animals here and they try to look after them.
Yeah, they are generally well looked after. They seem happy. They don't walk too far. They're on leads and things. They don't walk too far away from their own little stalls. And they're well trained around the roads. So they have to be, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So toilets and showers aren't, I won't say that common. Maybe every couple of 100, 200, 300 meters you might see them. They're normally quite clean, yeah, and as Connie just said, 50 cents seems to be, say 5,000 local currency seems to be the norm. I did have to go the other day and I only had 3,000. He did look at me a couple of times, but he did accept it. So if you are really needing to go to the loo, you know, I think they are fairly reasonable, or you may be able to say come back tomorrow and pay. I'm not really sure, but he accepted the 3,000 either way. So at the moment, obviously tides go in and out. When the tide's out, there's quite a bit of beach, and the surfing break is probably a little bit further, as you may see. Surfboarders are out a fair way today. However, when it's high tide, it comes right up, well past that red flag, probably where you see the tracks on the beach there. So you don't really want to be doing surf lessons when it's on high tide, because the break's right into your face. It's not as bad this time round in Bali for hawkers walking along the beach. They used to be very, very annoying, trying to sell bracelets and incense and offer foot massages. So previously you'd just be laying there and someone would come up and start massaging your feet and then want money, and you didn't even ask them. Where it's not as common. I have seen a few, but it's certainly not as rife as it used to be, so I'm not sure whether they've cracked down on that. So before I mentioned about beach chairs, Kuta, as you can see, I mean, they might come and clean up this sand, but if you go towards Seminyak, it's really nice and neatly maintained, raked. The chairs, flatter beach, far better. Yeah, just it's far nicer. So if you want to have a nice relaxing time by the beach, would strongly suggest heading up towards that corner, probably about 500 meters away where you first enter, where we did, probably about 300 meters to the right, 200. Just a far nicer atmosphere. Probably all the same sort of prices. So here's a surfing lesson, quite a large group. They were just doing some exercises. Soon they'll get them all to line up behind their boards and get them to lay down the board and practice standing up, etc. And as you can see just here, this is the most popular space, I guess. It's the calmest section. Where a lot of people are getting surfing lessons. We're pretty much straight in from where the Kuta Beach big sign entry is.
Morning.
Hello.
What's your channel? What the channel on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh, YouTube. Oh, yeah.
It's called Bondi's Travel.
Bondi's Travel. Yeah.
Look it up.
Bondi.
You'll be on there.
All right. I will watch it.
Don't forget.
Good example. They're all friendly. So here are your toilets. This is a bigger toilet block. Hello. Far bigger. Normally it's only sort of maybe one, possibly two toilets. And showers. Connie's on a mission for a nice iced coffee. It looks like you've got a very good chance.
Hello.
Hi, do you do iced coffee?
Yes, we have. You want coffee latte or americano?
Latte, yeah. I'll get a latte.
Want
Hello.
latte?
Coffee, yeah?
Good morning.
Yes.
Yes, you want latte.
Large.
You want with sugar or not? Or with sugar?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Large. Here's getting a coffee, as I mentioned, bang on right out in front of Kuta Beach main entry, which is approximately half the way along Kuta Beach, as you'd probably expect. So quiet. So it's about 500 metres back to 400 metres, so back to the corner. It takes you back up Martin Street, maybe 5 metres. Then it's probably another 300 metres will take you to Beach Walk, which is the latest shopping centre in Bali. If you go to sort of mid or the southern end of Kuta, that's where the Discovery Centre is. That was the previous, latest shopping centre in this region. There is also a new one over in Sanua, which is southeastern side of Denpasar. Haven't been there. That's where a lot of the dive boats go over to Nusa Penida or Gili Islands. Faster, shorter distance. All right, this is Connie's ice coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
You may see, if you've watched our videos, we generally don't. She's saying it's so good, but we're not the video people that stop at a restaurant and do the high teas and take you through how the lobster tastes.
$2.70.
That's not our thing. Oh my god. However, that coffee is actually very good. But if you want to watch those experiences, there's plenty of other slow travellers that offer that culinary experience for you. You may not find that on our channels, but that's okay. I mean, Connie's coffee went down the wrong way.
But if you want to go like no?
Getting some nice ice cold water. Clever dog. Maybe a bintang's opened up inside there. Oh, it smells good.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good, thank you.
Good. Have a good day.
You too.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. Good morning.
In the morning, they don't hawk as much. If you come here at midday or in the afternoon, just every stall will be, yes, come inside, yes. It's just relentless. But
Another
in the
hat,
morning, it's really nice.
another bintang.
Yeah.
Come sit down, have some food. But you just say hello.
Morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. in regards to resorts, hotels, I mean, the suggestion, I guess, would be book ahead. You'll have far more options available, and obviously better prices. We atypically use booking.com. There's Agoda, there's Airbnb, there's a lot of them. There's local Asian type apps as well. I like booking.com because not advertising for them. Just my suggestion. For one, you can get different tiered memberships, as a few of those sites offer. I generally pay the premium to opt for pay nothing now, pay a week before, a day before, or at the resort. That is certainly a premium. Example, you might pay $50 a night, hypothetically, if you wanted to pay for it online at the time of booking, or you might pay $70, $75 for the night to, book later, pay later, I should say. But I guess we're slow travelling, so if you change your mind, don't like the location, the hotel, whatever reason, you can cancel ahead, change your mind. But noting where we're staying now, Chiang Plung Mas, when I booked ahead, paying $903 for 3 weeks, where if I booked right now, I'd be paying $2,500 for 2 weeks. That's the absolute right now figures. So recommend booking ahead. You'll get more options, and there are a lot of options. Most are 3-star, of course. Some of your 5-star, even the corner of Kuta or Seminyak and Canggu especially, can be $10,000 to $14,000 for 2 weeks. So there are some high-end, very expensive ones, and there's some lower boutique-y type ones as well, just tucked in behind the back streets. Sometimes a 2 to 3-star, that's all you're after, without breakfast. Breakfast you get everywhere, $3, $4, $5 for eggs Benedict or bacon eggs. And they all offer the same sort of thing. At the end of the day, it's a bed. They'll have their own private bathrooms. Just that sometimes the services, the concierge desk and pool areas and things aren't the same, obviously. But if you're on a budget, you probably get it for $15, $20 a night, easily.
It's just the rubbish is just incredible. There is bins everywhere. People use them.
Yeah, it's a shame. Some beaches, obviously, especially more towards the Kuta, and you don't really see that down in the Seminyak area as much anyhow, or at all. But certainly in the Kuta, the southern area, it's a little bit of a shame. They don't really put a lot of effort into lots of things. The steps, just the area, obviously, they don't rake. So it's a little bit of the cheaper end. We just booked another place. It's Lasti Resort Spa. We changed from a previous booking that we booked a year ahead. We went and saw the location. We weren't really that much of a fan. Obviously the traps are, when you book online, they use the pictures from when they either first opened or just renovated or done something. They're not always exactly the same. Or they show the rooms that aren't available. I don't think they're deliberately trying to be dishonest or anything else. They're just at a point in time. Anyhow, so we decided to change, and when we just booked this location, the rate at the hotel for 2 weeks was $900 Australian on booking.com, or hopefully potentially other sites. I got it for $548. It doesn't include breakfast. Very nice resort with 2 swimming pools, very close to the beach, southern end of Kuta, good location. So that's an example of just current state. Mopeds, So look, they range in quality. You can get different sizes, of course. So your 125 standard 2-seater type one. A lot of the times they do have mobile phone holders, but those ones there are between 100 to 150 a day, so $10 to $15. And then your 155cc, your larger one, just a little bit bigger, wider, a little bit more comfortable seats. A lot of the places will be $200, $250, $20, $25. You can haggle them down. I went to the main street of the Legian Kuta that I showed you earlier, and I got it for 150, so 15 bucks. Luckily enough, at our hotel, they offer the same bike for $10 a night, and then the 125cc for $7. Sorry, a complete 24-hour day. Generally come with 2 helmets for free. Most will have phone holders, as I just mentioned, but some don't. Don't pay more. Just find another place that has them. As common sense would be, you know, make sure you get a photo or a video of the person renting the bike, time stamped in your photo or video. Take a full video of the condition of the motorbike. You never know, they are thrifty, but just be careful. And they don't come with a full tank of fuel. So one day I actually got one, it was blinking empty. Fuel prices, you'll just be going along the main street and there'll be a little, you know, clothing shop, and they'll have this little rack out the front with 3 or 4 bottles of petrol on it. So it'll be a litre of petrol, and they'll charge you somewhere between $2 and $4 for that litre. So just be careful of that. Your service stations range between, well, the local prices I think are $1. I think there's an automatic price for foreigners, as I've been told before. Might be right, might be wrong. Happy for you to put comments in the bottom and let us know if there's anything incorrect that we're saying. But I was paying around $2 a litre at the service station, so from empty to full it cost me $5 Australian. If you're going to Uluwatu from Legian, it'll probably use close to half a tank of fuel, and the prices of the fuel on the side streets at the top there get a little bit more expensive. I think I paid $3.50 for a litre. So yeah, always try to have fuel, because you can get lost easy in Bali, and the prices can range. It's fast moving, the service stations. Try and have your cash ready. When you're lining up, you open up your fuel tank and you have your cap off, and basically they say how much or full. It's easier just to say full, and have your cash ready. They give you change, put your cap back on, wheel it away, lock it all up, put the seat down, all that sort of shit, and then yeah, drive away. We come back tomorrow.
Yeah, free beer tomorrow.
Hello.
Hello. So be prepared. Got a million on video already. Be prepared, you go out in the morning, might be overcast. When you get used to it, it feels cold. And then now the sun's out and shining, it's warming up, it gets a bit steamy at the start after a shower, and then you don't have sun cream on, you've got a singlet on, you will get burnt reasonably fast. Prior to yesterday, as I mentioned, it was raining. It has got a UV index of extreme. It may not be I'm not looking at that index rating every day, but that's what it was on Tuesday. And it's not unnormal to see a few burnt Aussies getting around.
Yes, bro.
That's for sure.
Welcome.
If you are riding a motorbike, you know, whatever, or even driving a car, it's certainly an interesting experience. I mean, each their own. I would, one, have an international driver's license. I wasn't asked for one either time I've hired from two different locations. But last time we were here, we certainly were asked. Be aware that I'm pretty confident your local home health insurance, international travel insurance, will not cover you in an accident if you do not have an IDR.
Morning, Koba.
IDL, sorry. And you also want to make sure that your health and your travel insurance has got you covered for mopeds, because any excuse they obviously won't pay. The traffic, imagine there must be rules. I don't think they care. It is interesting. I've ridden mopeds in many countries now. This is one of the most interesting places. Here we go again. No. This is a one-way street.
What can I do for you?
Technically it's a one-way street. You will get motorbikes that are going other direction. They'll just pull out of the either right up the footpath to get to another street, or they'll just right up the side of the traffic, and then they'll weave through the traffic to try and turn right. It really doesn't matter. Now, again, at the moment it's extremely quiet. When it's busy, it is chaotic. If you're not skilled in riding a motorbike, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. I have seen and heard and talked to people that have had motorbike accidents. It is reasonably common. But it's a well-oiled machine. It seems to just work.
Yes, back.
That's Jamie Oliver's kitchen. There's a KFC. They're not that common, your large American style food chains. This street here is a few. So you see McDonald's down the end there. Hungry Jack's, well, Burger King is also, there's a couple of stores we've seen. I think that's the only McDonald's. That's the only KFC, I believe, that we've seen in this region. So this street here leads, well, keep on following this, weaving around, it takes you back to the airport. It's one of the back streets that does. This goes towards the next place we're staying, the Molasti Hotel. It also takes you to the Discovery Centre. There's a lot more probably labelled clothing shops as you go down towards that way a little bit more. Let's have a look at some of these KFC prices. Crazy deal. 7-piece chicken for $9. Okay. So a super super bizarre, massive chicken drink and some sort of dough thing for $3.40. A meal, $3.50. Meal, big bucket, something else for $1.30. Yeah, so cheap. So we're at the other end of the rectangle. So, as I said earlier, Legian Kuta, I think, probably pronouncing it drastically wrong, is this street here, and behind us that leads along Kuta Beach. As this is the other end of the rectangle, and then the main street between, well, the main shopping street, I guess, between Kuta and Legian is called Legian Street, and then that leads us back to Molasti Street where we started. Nearly everywhere has free Wi-Fi. Just have to sit down, ask them for the price, ask them for the code. They'll take your phone, put the code in for you, which is handy. Yeah, cheap prices. And they normally have good Wi-Fi. $9.90, all craft cocktails. Probably a bit on the expensive end. There's a number of restaurants that have happy hour cocktails for $5, or standardly $8 to $12, I guess. Our resort's got a happy hour from 4 to 7, 2 cocktails for $8. Quite a number of sports clothing shops as well. Definitely hats everywhere. This one's more towards sports clothing, as you can see. There's not a lot of Indian restaurants. Actually, there's not. I don't really know whether I've seen a Thai restaurant either. There's one German restaurant I know of here, one Swiss restaurant. Quite a few of the local restaurants. Lots and lots of Western food restaurants, or a mixture between Indonesian and Western. There's a few Italian restaurants. But again, I wouldn't say there's a lot. There's a fair few dedicated type seafood restaurants as well. Not normally on the main streets, normally on the back streets towards southern Kuta. Smell in the air where I am right now, but from memory I feel it's not as bad these days. It's actually quite rare to smell sewage or sort of bad smelling areas. It seems to be popular. Not sure where that goes. All these back streets come out to main drag shortcuts. Yeah, so in general, 99% of walking the streets is actually quite pleasant. So here's an example I was saying earlier. This is fairly southern Kuta. Massages are $10, so they get cheaper as they get away from the main areas. Balinese with aroma, 12. Pedicure, you know, it's all there. You can get, not everywhere, but some of them will offer some discounts if you've got a few different things together. You just have to ask.
I've got a hair mask at our resort, it was $14. It was an hour and included a massage as well. And lots of different vitamins in my hair. It was just absolutely beautiful. $14 for the
Yeah, I mean, that's a great comparison because you can pay $14 for a 1 hour massage or $14 for a complete hair treatment. And what, your hair got washed 3 times and full shoulder massage and all these different vitamin capsules they put through it and
creams
and deep massage.
For an hour and it was really lovely.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible value.
Oh, the little cat.
Dia pegang bayar rumah. Nanti besok saya mampir.
Just be mindful of the footpaths when they're wet. If you're wearing thongs, they become very, very slippery.
And
We
obviously,
tend to wear sneakers when it's rainy.
you've got to watch where you walk. Like any of these Asian countries. I mean, Bali's quite good. This footpath's actually in quite good condition. But then you'll go along, if you let your guard down, you'll trip over something or there'll be tiles missing or, you know, for example, falling flat, tile missing there. And you could lift your head up and you'll have a motorbike coming straight down the footpath when it gets busier. So you must look left and right, doesn't matter if it's a one-way street. So I guess what to expect, how to budget, you know, that comes down to the individual. It comes down to how far you book ahead for a hotel and what the cost is, what sort of standards you want, breakfast or any meals. Some of the resorts will offer free airport pickups and drop-offs, or, you know, at a reasonable price. So I'll leave hotels out of it, but you know, if we just talk about food, drinks, massages, generally, I haven't really shown you breakfast menus, but you'll get a bacon and eggs, or toast, probably maybe with an orange juice or a coffee. You shouldn't pay any more than $5. Eggs Benedict, something similar, and they could range up to $8 depending on the cafe or the resort. Don't remember, as I said earlier, don't forget about resorts. They've got some very good service. Lunches, you know, your local foods, $5 to $7. Tasty, filling. Even our resort, 4-star resort, $5 to $7 for your lunches, whether it be wings or burgers or nachos or pita bread, chicken pita breads. Very good, very cheap. They seem to have a problem with hot food.
Yeah.
The breakfasts aren't in the Bain Marie's even. They got a little burner under it, but it's lukewarm to cold. However, we haven't been sick. We do generally try to take probiotics and stuff, but just be mindful. You wonder why people have got such a bad reputation for Bali belly. Touch wood. 3 times we've been, we haven't. Again, so breakfast, lunches, $5, $7, $8. Dinners, not much more. You know, some of your more Australian, Western type, they sort of, you know, get you reeled in a little bit. You can pay $15 to $30 for a steak. That's not common. There's only probably a few of those that I've seen anyhow. You'll find that you can get a nice sizzling steak. You know, Indonesian beef, Australian beef's a little bit more expensive. but it'll be somewhere around the $12, $13, 200 grams. Black pepper steak, sizzling, good. Salads and chips, very tasty. And then otherwise, you know, there's a lot of other food that's schnitzels range between 7 to 12. You know, your salads, there's all sorts of things. So again, $5 for a breakfast, 7 if you want a lunch, say 10 to 12 on average for a dinner. So that's your food. Snacks, plenty of chips, different sorts of crackers, nuts, all different sorts of things in the supermarkets. There's hot dogs around for cheap. Coffees are $1 to $2.50. Massages, as I said before, very commonly around the $14 in the main area. You can get between 10 and 12, or you can ask for them for 12. They probably will accept it. Some of the quality of the massages aren't that great. One of the first ones I went to was terrible. He was called, no, I won't say the name, you'll work it out. So we're at the southern end of Legian Street, heading back up. This is probably one of the most busiest streets in this region anyhow, unless you get on the highways towards Denpasar and things, and that's just a different level of manic. I have shown walking the street in a different video, so I've got a few videos. Again, we're only new at this. We've only just started doing slow travel, so please, we're more than happy for comments or suggestions. We will get better at doing videos and editing. And apologies, I have got a fair few novice videos up there. They didn't have comments, just worked it out. Comments are now turned on, so I would really appreciate your comments.
Yes, I'm here.
Share, subscribe, all the regular things. Pass it around. We're just pretty simple folk, just want to try and be as informative as we can with our videos and just do some slow street walking. Most of the time there's not a great deal of commentary. Just feel that this was hopefully a video that gives you some value, as some information to it that some others don't always provide. So anyhow, again, please leave comments. We're learning. Hopefully our videos will improve. So stay with us. We're looking at being in Asia and a fair few different countries. We won't tell you everything. Stay tuned, but Asia for the next 6 months. And then heading back to Europe. We've been to a lot of countries and we're going to start showing you our journey. So follow us as we grow, learn and travel the world. This is reasonably common, just stopping on the footpaths, and then you've got to try to, this is easy at the moment, it's quiet. When this is full, yeah, you've got to be brave. What I find is, I'll give you an example. I'm going to cross the street. So you just walk out slowly, just stay consistent, and they stop. When they obviously don't do it when they're going too fast, but you know, just generally. And again, this is very, very quiet, so use caution, please. Do it at your own pace, but just walk across. I generally just give a little wave, just stay consistent with your walking. Motorbikes will move around, cars will generally stop for you. So motorbikes you need to be warriorful. They'll come out left, right, sideways. You won't always see them. But they know what they're doing. There are a few ice cream places along the main streets. There's a really good one in Garlic Lane. You do have to be mindful of droppings and stuff on the footpath. Yeah, so back to ice cream. So there are a number of ice cream places, I guess, around. They do have very good ice cream. We've only tried 3 times, but they've been consistently quite good quality, very tasty. About $3.50 for a single cone. So, you know, it's not cheap, I guess, in comparison to Australian dollars. I think it's about $6.50 for a double cone. So, yeah. But they are tasty and they are cold. Your pharmacies are also, I guess, reasonably common. Some are bigger, some smaller, of course. You probably find one on average every 100 metres of the main streets. They seem to have most products. Again, I don't think they're very cheap. I mean, I haven't really gone in there for a lot of stuff, but say for example, I wanted to get some B12 vitamins. They didn't sell them in a bottle. They sold me a sleeve, 10 tablets for $50,000, $5. I think a bottle of, you know, vitamin D, for example, you know, yes, it looks like bottle size, 50 or 60 capsules, for about $35. Just some sort of base point. So if you need anything in particular, I'd bring it with you. We bring all of our medicines with us. We don't have them in their bottles or their packets or anything else. They basically just go in Ziploc bags. Sometimes we write a, you know, on the bag of what it is. But say Panadol, Nurofen, any of your probiotics, Swiss Sleep, for example, they all just go into Ziploc bags. We've never ever had a problem, and anywhere we've travelled in the world with that. Obviously, each their own, at your own discretion. We don't have any prescribed medicines. If we did, I would highly recommend keeping them in their original packets. Or what I've seen others do is cut off the front label and put that into the Ziploc bag with the tablets, so you can show evidence of what it is. It's a reasonable tip. Just past a Burger King, had 2 meals. So the pictures of the burgers looked like they were a reasonable size. I think I had drink and chips for $38,000, so $3.80 for what seems to be 2 meals. You know, if they're small, you'd have both of them for yourself and it'd still be cheap. Here, your beer bikes. Beer buses or whatever they're called. Later in the evening, 5, 6 o'clock is where they're sort of, you see a fair few of those and music's going loud and they look like they're having a lot of fun. So not sure of the price. quite amazing that there's still large plots of land either haven't been developed or decommissioned resorts in the middle of main areas. There's another one next to you, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you get. Hey.
Yes, okay.
It is, but we don't have.
If you're ever scared about crossing the streets, or you know you've got a walker or an elderly person with you, the security guards at all of the resorts, you could easily ask them. They've got batons and whistles, and they'll step out on the road, stop the traffic for you, and help you get across the road. Sometimes there's just every major area, there's also some people that are, I guess, paid by the government to do the same thing. Traffic's good. Motorbikes sometimes will ignore it, but mostly it's traffic's good and they'll stop and let you across. If you're had some mobility issues, you would probably struggle, especially if you had, you know, extremely bad back. It's not DDA friendly in any stretch of the imagination. Offering massages from across the street.
Hello, Mr. Gary.
Hello.
Then bike again?
Not today.
Not today.
I've been down the street a few times, but if he's on the front street, I've hired a bike with him once about 2 weeks ago. He knows my name. They're good. You always be cautious of motorbikes coming out of hallways. They come from everywhere. It's one of the bigger ones, Alpha Mart. There's a few of them around. Good size. There, we can have a look. Just consistent, slow pace. We'll take a bit of a look inside here. Yeah, no prices.
Cornetto is normally about 90 cents.
Yeah.
Must be cool. Yeah, it is. Bags.
There you go. Something you don't see every day. Oil in a bag. There's a large variety of chips.
It's $1.10 for your foot.
Oh, yeah,
You get your,
the 10 pack, is it?
oh no, just the 5-pack.
So your Colts, $1.10. The basic gut bacteria, I guess, not that great for stopping Bali belly, but everything helps. So the local nachos and things are quite tasty. I think we tried those ones. Yeah, $1.30. However, if you want to try to get some of the more Australian type thins and stuff, which I don't really have just here, they could be $8 a packet, and they seem like they're full, and but when you open them, I don't know what the grammage is, but just be aware they go to nothing. Fresh fruit is
Apples
not
are expensive.
exactly
Always
cheap.
about the same price as Brisbane.
similar to Australian price, I guess, for apples. I know we went to one supermarket, one of the largest shopping centres. We picked up 2 apples. I've got what was it? Was it $10?
Yeah.
2 apples.
But they were two magnificent.
Two beautiful big apples, but there's $10. So yeah, just be aware. So cities, wild and wonderful array of different local and international. The prices I can see here, $3. And those there are $1.60, $1.50. A lot of them are $3.70. I don't think I can tell. There's one there for $4.80. I think there's cigars. Hey. Water's cheap, as you'd hope and expect. So 1.5 litre of aqua is around 70 cents in some of the supermarkets. Not all. Let's see what the smaller bottles of aqua are worth here. No price. But I'm guessing somewhere around 30 cents. And you can get like 5 litre and 20 litre dollar drums as well. Yeah. Okay. see a couple of those older guys just with their big heavy bags, bottles and cans, and making a few buck, which is good to see. Good to see them cleaning up. Probably every 50 meters on one side or another, there'll be a Western type restaurant, bar. No shortage of TVs with a range of sports. At the moment there's cricket, AFL, been golf. Some of them advertise all the NRL games and dates, offer free, obviously, coverage. This is a quite nice restaurant. Been here before. Mama's German restaurant. Seems to have a lot of traditional German food. We haven't tried any of that just yet, but you know, your schnitzels and spatzli and nice type of German food. And Swiss restaurants on the right hand side. We haven't tried that this time, but if you are German or Swiss, something to check out. As you can see, it's getting a little bit busier. It's currently 11:15.
Just tell me what white sign with gold hands.
Yeah, Aussie dollar price is a little bit better there. So 10,375 for every Australian dollar. It works out roughly 95 cents to 10,000. Yeah, I mean different people use different cards. We've got a range of cards just to be safe. We haven't really ever needed to use anything other than our Wise card, and we also choose to use Ubank. Both of those have got no international transaction fees or FPOS fees. Oh, when I say FPOS, I mean just international fees, not conversion fees. If you go to the FPOS machines here, like any international location, you always got to be careful. Even the little supermarkets, they can, and what you hear on the internet anyhow, can have skimmers on them and different things, so always be careful. We like to use the more secure, larger banks where they've got a security guard either outside or they've got a closed door, air conditioned, which is nice, and they're generally more secure, and I think they're checked, the skimmers, but don't quote me on that. The rates aren't necessarily the best, but sometimes for a reason. Look at your local cards and what their fees are. Even be aware of Wise, there are limitations. I believe, again, do your own research, but I think you can get 325 Australian dollars out 2 times every month, and then after that I believe there are some transaction fees. Again, check for yourself. So when you get 300 Australian dollars, it equates roughly to 3 million Indonesian rupiah. IDR. Yeah, nearly everywhere takes cards.
few restaurants that take cash only.
Yeah, the one at the start of the video I showed you, the one we went to last night, the Australian restaurant, that's cash only. There are a couple of them that are, the larger ones and Western ones are, I mean 90% of them take cards. Your markets and all that sort of stuff, yeah, it's mostly cash of course. Some of your supermarkets or smaller ones at your hotels anyhow, they want cash. Massages will take cards, some of them will probably want cash, depends on how reputable the store is. This is one of our favourite hangouts when we first came to Bali, blue skies. At that stage, it was owned by an Australian that would come out and have a chat. It was good food, still good prices. Massage for 100, 10 bucks. Hello. Your pork ribs, reasonably tasty, it's $12. Portion sizes are not large in general, but they're quite good. Here's 20 bucks for a sirloin. You're hoping that's an Australian steak. This is probably a bit expensive, it's local steak. Local's probably 12. There's an example. Here, bintangs. Small ones at $3. That's generally a good price for a restaurant. Yes, bars are common. There's a few of them around. They are nice. We've been there a few times on previous trips, but you do have to book ahead. They are very popular. You normally you can pick your scented oils and different things. Good quality massages, nice inside. A little bit more expensive. A little bit more expensive. There's the Swiss restaurant I mentioned earlier. Starting to get a bit busy here now. This traffic's going the wrong way. Actually, that's not true. Just back there is a turn off. I see it just after that truck, which is now one way this way, which doesn't stop all the motorcycles going the other way. So, just be aware of that. It just changes direction all of a sudden. Yes. Oh, there's a range of Australian clothing shops. So Quicksilver, Billabong, ladies, swimwear. All seem to be good quality, very similar to Australian prices. Probably some different designs you don't see in Australia.
Things you do for your cake,
Again, there's supposed to be one way this way. It doesn't matter. It's Bali. Okay, back to the border of Malacca Street. You'll know that by the Mercure Hotel. That way heads to Seminyak and Canggu. The main street to get there from Legian.